Hi guys, and welcome to Ayahuasca podcast. As always, we do the host Sam Believ, and today I'm having a conversation with wonderful Dr. Clara Porwell.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
Welcome. So Clara has been head of facilitation here at LaWayra for 10 months. Since then, she has
Now I'm curious.
facilitated to 689 patients with 3.3 ceremonies on average per person and 1.5 cups on average per person. You've been around for about 3,400 cups.
Wow,
So
that's a lot.
before we get into that, Clara is a doctor from Germany. She came here as a patient. She loved it so much. She stayed as a volunteer, then eventually got promoted to a facilitator, and then eventually had a facilitation. How does it make you feel, Clara? You know, so many people, so many cups.
I feel honored. I feel very honored to have gotten the opportunity to be here and to help so many people heal. It's the numbers, I need to digest them. That's a lot.
It's like a little town.
Yeah. It's bigger than the village that I grew up in. It's like, yeah, more people than my neighbors. I feel very honored, very, very lucky that I got this opportunity. I know it was a very, very important, crucial part of my own healing journey. So I'm super, super grateful that I got this opportunity to be here and to support so many people.
Tell us about your journey. Like, how did you come into working with psychedelics for your own healing? And then how did you get to LaWayra? How did you find us? Like, tell us the story.
So I guess it started actually 4 years ago almost with my first psilocybin journey. And I just realized that the way things were going, the way I practiced medicine was not very fulfilling. So I quit my first job and traveled in South America, and actually was told about ayahuasca from the very first day when I arrived in the hostel, Mexico City. And my first reaction was, no way, no way, that's not for me. But then I met quite a few people throughout my travels who spoke very highly about the experiences, and I got more curious. I read about ayahuasca a lot, and I knew I was going to be in Colombia for the end of my travels. And by the time I felt ready to sit with the medicine, and I just Googled ayahuasca in Colombia, and there was a website that was called Ayahuasca in Colombia, and it just felt right. And I remember that when I decided to sign up, the retreat was fully booked. And then I messaged you and asked if you can put me on the waiting list, if there's any possibility. And you just happened to open up the weekend retreat before the week. And I was able to come. And you let me stay for the week because I knew I had to stay longer. So thank you for making everything possible.
My pleasure. Can you explain to our listeners what is LaWayra?
So this Vira is a secret project between Sarah and I, where we will actually make ourselves irreplaceable and then take over LaWayra and make it everything very German.
Okay, that's a part I didn't know about, but the concept of LaWayra, which is obviously the German version of LaWayra, is we for a period of time, you were already here maybe like 6 months ago. 70% of the team were German speakers, either from Germany or Switzerland. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And everything became on time
So much
and very
structure.
disciplined. And and so now you're leaving, but we're still keeping Sarah, our business coordinator, to keep all the spirits of order. The trains come on time, or the buses, everything comes on time. What do you think about this concept of, like, obviously this is a psychedelic space, and we have to be loving and caring and sort of flexible, and but at the same time you need order to make sure everything doesn't go off the rail. Like how as German, how does that make you feel? How have you been navigating that in your own work as head of facilitation? Because obviously you are the one that is in charge of order in the ceremony, at least.
Yeah, well, it's been challenging, I have to admit. It was definitely a lesson to be more in the flow of things and not be super, super rigid. I loved control. I still appreciate structure and order, but I'm not as rigid anymore. So working in the space where you cannot have any expectations and things are gonna play out the way they're gonna play out anyways, and you just need to go with it. I feel like that's another big lesson of surrendering, surrendering to the process, trusting the process, and my favorite word, learning patience. So, of course, medicine helps, and working in the space helps as well. So, yeah, that was a big, big lesson for me to learn. It's just continuous practice, not getting caught up when word circle doesn't start at 9 sharp, but a few minutes later. But
It's like a delicate dance between order and chaos. That's kind of like work with ayahuasca itself. You know, ayahuasca is this strict but loving motherly spirit. It's like it's loving, and but it's also strict. And it's like if you don't follow your dieta, it's gonna kick your ass because you're disrespecting it. Sometimes, not every time. So you're a doctor, right? And you went to medical school, and you worked in the hospital and all that stuff, and the stethoscope. And why didn't you bring your stethoscope? How are people gonna know you're a doctor if you're not wearing a stethoscope?
I know, right? Yeah.
Now you wear beads instead.
It's a nice exchange.
You were a doctor. You still are a doctor, and you're actually gonna become even more of a doctor, right? As far as I understand. But Western medicine, Amazonian medicine. What did you learn? What's the difference? So where should we focus more on the Western approach? Where should we focus more on the Amazonian approach?
Yeah, I feel like many of us are realizing that Western medicine is not sufficient. It has its place, that's for sure, and we need it as well, but we also need ancestral medicine, and we need ancestral wisdom. The healthcare systems are failing. People are not receiving the medical care that they need because we are, especially with mental health, we're against the wall. The modalities that we have, they're insufficiently working. Medication, therapy, it definitely has its place and it's very, very beneficial, but can only come so far as well. So there's definitely a need for ancestral medicine, which is medicine in itself, but also the knowledge that comes from these traditions in how they live with nature, what they learn from nature, what connection to nature and Mother Earth actually means, and how you practice it, and how that is equally as important to our well-being. So there needs to be, both have their place, and both are equally as important. So we need to find a way on how to implement that in our worldview and how we approach health and medicine in general. So I guess this will be part of my journey going back home, figuring out how to combine those two, maybe be a bridge between the Western medicine and the ancestral medicine, maybe helping people find or helping people get access to plant medicine, to the ancestral medicine, in which form that might look like. I don't know. I'm not aware of it yet, but yeah, there's definitely a need, an increasing demand. And there's people coming, we see more people coming to LaWayra and seeking help because they're lacking something, they're missing something. Our approach, the Western approach to health is not, it's just not sufficient.
We see doctors coming to LaWayra, a lot of them.
Cool.
There's at least one a month. So it's like, it's a good indication that something is missing in their own system. It's like, what's a good analogy? It's like, you know, an owner of an Italian restaurant coming to your French restaurant to eat himself. Like, if you were completely satisfied, then you probably wouldn't need to come here, which is totally fine. I don't think there's really any competition. Like, when Taita Fernando had appendicitis, he didn't go and do a special ceremony. He went to a Western hospital to get it cut out, because there are many cases with, like, you break your leg or anything traumatic. That's Western medicine is amazing for dental work and stuff like that. But for anything like chronic and slow and mental, we seem to be like completely we're completely lost. And I think the big part of it is that we still, as a Western society, we still have not embraced the psychedelics. Did you know the first ever antidepressant was actually ayahuasca?
How so?
Yeah, the first ever antidepressant was the MAOI from the ayahuasca vine.
Oh, really?
In the 50s, yeah.
Oh my God, no.
So it's like that's how we figured out our first ever, antidepressants. And then they kind of took it to the extreme, synthesized a bunch of weird stuff. It's like taking things out of context. But anyway, so...
But that's the interesting thing about medicine as well, how we are just really realizing that we know so little about the connection between the mind and the body, and how much a mental health issue actually appears in somatic systems. How many people have we had come here with autoimmune diseases, especially gut diseases like Crohn's or colitis, who received a big part of healing through drinking medicine. Even patients coming who had suffered from cancer and who got the realization how their cancer was caused by stuck emotions. So there's a lot that we have yet to acknowledge, how mental health actually affects the body, and hopefully in the future how many diseases can be prevented even by focusing on mental health. And actually, because we're like, we're running behind. We're treating diseases, we're treating symptoms. But if we started earlier, if we actually focus on prevention, which there is an awareness in Western medicine, but we're missing the modalities on how to actually prevent diseases. So this could be a huge, this could make a huge impact, actually focusing on preventing diseases, not only bettering mental health, physical health, but it'll also have a big impact on cost of healthcare, because it's just immensely expensive. It's not sustainable anymore. So I feel like there needs to be a focus on actually figuring out how to prevent the disease.
Ayahuasca cup a day keeps the psychiatrist away. You know what they say? No, but in all seriousness, I think one ayahuasca retreat a year would be like life-changing for so many people. I think that many diseases would just not be able to happen.
Yeah.
Because you have this accumulation of trauma, somatic stuff in your body that like disbalances you, and then eventually it needs time to grow into a disease or cancer. And if you just kind of like purge it regularly, I have a feeling that wouldn't work. But you as a doctor, like knowing how human body works, and now being immersed in this shamanic tradition for more than a year and working with so many people, what do you think, what is the origin of the disease, and like how do you think that now your understanding of human body and the disease has been informed by this tradition? And like is there any like unifying theory that you can propose as a bridge between Western Amazonian tradition?
Well, I feel like the more I spend time in this place, I feel like the less I actually know about anything anymore. I think how to cope with emotions is a big thing, and that's what the medicine does. It not only helps you purge it out, but also gives you the tool how to cope with your emotions. So it's actually much more than just the time here, but if you implement what the medicine teaches you, it gives you the tool to work on that even when you go back, and with that preventing yourself to not process what is happening in the moment and to not process these emotions, and with that as well preventing anything to accumulate or to get stuck. I personally believe that is a big factor, but how that works on a biochemical level, no clue. That's the mystery of the medicine, I guess. Would be cool to find out, though.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could go back to medical school and like study to become an ayahuasca doctor. Because it's like there's definitely, we need both. We need both, and we need like something uniquely in the middle. Yeah, there should definitely be an ayahuasca doctor category soon. It's like physical, but also mental and a little bit spiritual. Maybe you should like go back to Germany and just tell them to start.
Just legalize psychedelics, please.
Yeah. Tell us about your own healing journey. Like what was ayahuasca able to do for you that, let's say, Western approach was not?
So I guess when I first came to the medicine, it's like a lot of people, I thought it was curiosity, but it was much more than that. I struggled a lot with self-love, self-compassion, confidence, and I've always wondered why that is so difficult for me, why I was struggling with that, and also having had episodes of quite severe depression, looking back, and connection. I believe this is what most people are looking for. This is a common theme that people are looking for when they come to LaWayra. Connection to themselves, connection to others, connection to Mother Nature. So it's been a process for over 2.5 years now since I sat with the medicine for the first time. And yeah, I'm struggling to find words to describe the magnitude of what I received from the medicine.
Show it with your hands.
I cannot. I need more. But yeah, it's not only working on my own healing, but knowing that my own healing is only possible with others as well. And being here, helping others and supporting them in their healing journey, these selfless acts of service that we provide is so healing in itself. Apart from the community that I was allowed to be part of, the family, the home that I built here. Yeah, it's been intense, 2.5 years, that's for sure. But yeah, it's not over yet, definitely. Well, my main, I guess, process was dealing with the sexual abuse that I had uncovered in my second retreat last year in March, which I guess explains a lot on my behavioral patterns, on how I saw the world, the low self-confidence, the mistrust. So working through that step by step, and also being here to help others work through that. The interconnectedness was just absolutely necessary to progress. And that just made me realize that you can only do so much healing on your own, but then you need others to continue with the process, be it help, support, be it challenges that you encounter. Yeah, it's a lot.
What would you tell someone that is afraid to do ayahuasca because they're afraid to uncover big trauma, like in your case, childhood sexual abuse? What would you tell someone that is afraid of that? Like, would you reckon it's good that you uncovered it, or you'd rather keep it there?
No, absolutely. I'm incredibly grateful for the medicine, because I knew something was there and something was off, and I knew I had unhealthy behavioral patterns. It was so difficult for me to be genuine, authentic, and it's there. You can't suppress it. You can try to suppress it the best that you can. I did for over 30 years, almost 30 years. But in the end, it's still there and it influences you. And you have the choice, okay, do I go towards it? Do I want to get better? Do I want to work through it? And then come out eventually on the other side, genuine, authentic, not only being able to heal, but also supporting others in their healing journey? Or do I hide from it and let it dominate my life? So it's the question of, do I want to take responsibility for my life? Do I want to live a better life, a more fulfilled life? Or do I let myself ruled by this thing that is there and it's not going to go away by itself? It is a difficult path, for sure. There were times that were incredibly challenging, very difficult to navigate. And yeah, sometimes just excruciating, sitting with not knowing, sitting with not being able to move forward, not being able to move backwards. But it is possible to go through that. And I'm very, very glad I did. I feel like I'm a completely different person. I'm able to show up genuinely, authentically, and engage with myself, and most importantly with the people around me, with this world, in a completely different way. So yeah, you need to do it if you want to be happy, if you want to live a fulfilled life.
Yeah, repressing doesn't work. Hiding things from yourself doesn't work. You eventually will have to confront them. And it's better, the sooner the better, because imagine you're like 90 years old and you're deathbed and you're like, your life was ruined. And it's like the analogy I like to use, if you have like a big pus-filled pimple on your leg, and you say it kind of doesn't hurt too much, but a little bit, but if you touch it, it hurts a lot. So you don't want to touch it because it hurts.
Yeah.
And like drinking ayahuasca and going right into it in the mess, it's like doing a surgery on it.
Yeah.
But then it can heal and then you're okay. But otherwise, like, this will eventually give you gangrene and you'll have to cut off your leg.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, you not only have, most importantly, you have responsibility for yourself, but also having children, or wanting to having children, and wanting to provide them the best life. You need to work on your own stuff. Otherwise, you just pass it on. Genetically, but also through your own behaviors and your own unhealthy patterns. So it's also a responsibility that you carry on.
Speaking of this, like, have you observed much of the intergenerational trauma and how people pass it on? And what do you think? What's going on there?
Yeah. I mean, I experienced it myself in my own ceremonies, and I saw how this trauma, especially the sexual abuse, has been passed on from generation to generation. And of course it makes sense for something that painful to happen. So I feel like medicine helps to work on that, to heal that, not only for the generation that are to come, but also for the generation who have been there, the generations who have been there already. And I can see it in my own family as well, that it's been encouraging for my mom to continue on her healing journey, my cousin as well. I feel like something is moving, and that's very, very rewarding to see as well. That doing your own work, it actually helps others as well through inspiration and through the magic of the medicine itself.
While you're here, what are the most interesting cases, not naming any names, but like complicated people or complicated processes, any you want to share?
Yeah, I think the human psyche is just so fascinating, especially when people go to places where you feel like you're really on the edge, and navigating that, what is real, or being in this reality, but also experiencing where the medicine takes you and navigating those spaces is very, very fascinating. And yeah, just the infinite or the vastness of the human psyche. People turning into tigers in ceremony, guarding their tiger's den, growling at the facilitators. That's just fascinating. Yeah, I think that was actually one of my most profound process that I was allowed to witness, like this feline process, people turning into a feline, into a tiger, and just experiencing what it means to be a feline, the smells, the noises, the sensitivity. I think that's very fascinating.
What do you think is going on there? Like any hypotheses?
I mean, they say that, or one of the legends of how medicine was discovered was that they saw jaguars stripping, and they watched them, what kind of vine they were eating. So, I mean, big cats have been honored for many, many years. Cats were honored in Egypt, so there must be some correlation. Cats are very intuitive. Our cats here are very, very intuitive as well. So I don't exactly know what's going on, but it seems to be something very, very special, connecting with the feline of some sort.
What are the most interesting healing stories that you've observed? Like somebody that comes and then just transforms? Any names come to mind? I know it's a lot of people, right? You probably don't remember everyone.
Yeah. I think what I found very impressive is people dealing with their addictions, drinking medicine, and then they don't drink alcohol anymore, or they stop smoking, sometimes even just by 2 ceremonies, and then they're clean. There's no urge to engage in any distraction, whatever drug it might be. And yeah, just starting to take care of themselves, eating more healthily, quitting alcohol, quitting drugs. I think that's the most impressive, because it takes a lot, especially when they had this addiction for many, many years, and then suddenly there's no need for it anymore. That's the most impressive, I would say, yeah.
What is your biggest frustration as the head of facilitation?
Yeah, patience. And being with the impatience of others, which is my lesson for patience as well, I realized. We've seen so many people, so many groups, and we know medicine works, and medicine does its thing anyways. And by the end of the retreat, people will have their connection. They will have received what they came here for, what they needed. And holding that frustration of, oh, I'm not connecting, I'm not getting what I want, and being with that and being supportive and encouraging, and not getting annoyed myself. That's the biggest, that's one of the big challenges here, that's for sure. But medicine shows us every time to just have trust in her. So this has been very, very helpful in that. And it's my own lesson of patience as well. So that's also kind of cool.
How does it make you feel when somebody says they begin their share with saying, I'm not connected, and then they proceed describing a very cookie cutter ayahuasca connection with pretty productive outcome?
Yeah, yeah. That happens pretty commonly actually. I mean, I understand people come here for a lot. They're desperate. They want to heal. They really want to heal. They've tried so many things for so many years and nothing has worked. So for many, it's the medicine that's often the last resort. So I understand that need for having a connection. The more beautiful it is when they actually realize, oh, I had this connection all along. It was just in a different way. And maybe that even helps them when they go back to realize the subtle connections that the medicine provides, not only through medicine, through ceremonies, but through people, most importantly. So maybe it helps them to be more aware of the different ways that the medicine actually works, even after leaving the retreat.
So as a head of facilitation, you've been here for 10 months. It means, and every month we have 10 ceremonies. It means you've been a part of 100 ceremonies. So whether drinking yourself or taking the service cup, have you discovered any spiritual gifts, or maybe have you accessed any shamanic states while you're here? Because obviously facilitation is being there for people, but of course there's this other side.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely expanded my consciousness, that's for sure. I haven't had the cool travel through the universe experience yet, but I've been very connected to the spiritual realm and feeling its presence right in this moment. So that's been quite cool, and the experience of being here and there at the same time, which is so difficult to explain. There's a lot that we don't know of, that's for sure. So I'm glad to have approached it like little by little. But yeah, there's something opened up for me that I definitely want to pursue further. I'm not really sure what it is yet, but there's definitely an openness to exploring what is behind what we perceive at the moment, whatever that may be.
Would you like to be a shaman when you grow up?
Aren't we all shamans of some sort?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I definitely want to work in the healing space. The medicine gave me this confirmation, working with people and guiding, helping them in their own healing journey. What Taita does is absolutely incredible. His work and how he approaches medicine, how he approaches the people and working with them. And it's a lot of responsibility that he carries. So I don't know if I want to be in his shoes, to be honest, dealing with all that's out there. But yeah, being in the healing space is definitely what I'm going to be doing. That's for sure. Yeah, I leave the shaman path to Nico.
Tell us more about your job. Like for people, maybe people they haven't been here before. What is head of facilitation, or what is chief facilitator, and what do you actually do?
It's a lot of everything. Well, first it's leading the ceremony team in the ceremonies, making sure that patients are safe, that we're there if they need help, whatever it may be, just from handing out napkins, refilling the water cups, to helping them go to the bathroom, or even guiding processes of different sorts. I think that's the most obvious. Then it's being in the wood circle, already kind of helping the integrational part, leading the word circles, preparing patients before they come with the speeches, preparing them before they leave with the preparation speech, And there's a lot of behind the scenes as well. We check in after every word circle with the team and kind of discuss who we want to look out for, maybe patients that need some extra guidance outside of ceremony. So we kind of hold the retreat and the flow of the retreat in itself, being there to provide that safe container, not only inside but also outside of ceremony, offering support, offering guidance through conversations, through hugs, through whatever it may be, just a smile. And yeah, kind of keeping the team together, making sure that the team dynamic is working, navigating that. So it's a lot. It's the own process that we're working with. It's the process of the patients individually, the process of the group, the process of the team members individually, the process of the team in itself, and how everything flows together. Yeah, so it's a lot, the in-between, the like navigation of the retreat in itself and helping it or supporting it in its flow, giving it a bit of structure and order, but still letting it happen and maybe giving in like the bits and pieces of, okay, how can we support making people's experience just a little better and a little nicer? Basically make people feel cared for and feel listened to. I think this is what the basic need that everybody has as a human, just being part of something and feeling like somebody actually cares about them, which we do, yeah.
You also do the workshops and the trainings when people arrive, so that's also important. And then we do the post-retreat online.
The integration calls,
Yeah.
exactly.
So on the topic of integration and the word circles, talk to us about your view on integration and regarding word circles, like what is the importance of the community, and if you were to assign percentages of like healing, you know, this percent comes from ayahuasca, this percent comes from a shaman, this percent comes from the team, this percent comes from the community, this percent comes from the place, do you have a formula in mind?
No.
There was like 3 questions in one.
Yeah. Well, as we all know, integration is very, very tricky. And I guess I'm going to be faced with it very soon as well. So I'll let you know if I actually live by my own words when I go back. But yeah, it's so difficult to explain if you haven't actually put it into practice. But it's yeah. No, like Taita likes to say, medicine is 10% and 90% is what you do with it. I mean, medicine plays a huge part in just allowing yourself to take a step further, taking away whatever was limiting beliefs, mental constructs, to then for you to step forward. Difficult to say percentages, because I feel like medicine is, of course, what we drink, but then medicine works through everything around us as well. So for sure, the ceremony is a big part. For retreat, I would say like, I don't know, difficult to say percent. I would say half-half. Half is the community, half is the ceremony. And we as a team kind of flowing into both with our presence and what we have to offer individually and as a team as well. But ultimately, you need to do the work by yourself. Like you need to continue practicing what you learned here. And I feel like that's a difficult part to understand for many, that medicine is not just taking away all your problems and fixing your life in 1 week retreat, but opening up to what is possible and what your capabilities are, which is a lot greater. Like people want to come and they want to know, okay, what's my next job going to look like? Which city should I move to? That's irrelevant when you actually realize what you get from the medicine. which is being able to look inside of yourself, being more connected to yourself, being more connected to your intuition. Because from that place, when you're in that place, everything else comes naturally. If you're aligned with yourself, everything else just happens very naturally. But you need to put in the work. You need to have your practice of going inwards through meditation, through somatic practices like yoga, like breathwork, by nurturing the ability to be with yourself, to see what is arising, what is unfolding, and by that, my favorite phrase, take the process inwards to see what is actually happening inside of you that is unfolding and that needs to be taken care of and attended to. So, yeah, integration is very, very tricky. Therapy definitely helps. I mean, Simon was here the last week. He's been my therapist for 1.5 years now. He's been an amazing guide. So, yeah, everybody needs to find out for themselves what works for them, in which way they can use other modalities in life to facilitate their healing journey.
Yeah, I'm probably going to interview Simon next 2 days as well,
Nice.
since he's here.
Yeah,
it's going to be our second interview with him. So,
yeah.
So you're leaving now.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen to LaWayra? What do you think about your replacement?
Oh, wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful ladies that are stepping into this role. And I'm very, very proud of them. I see that they will grow a lot. This role, just being in the space, forces you to grow. And that's beautiful. They're both amazing young women who will learn a lot and will also provide something great for this place. So I am very proud of myself as well, that I was able to help them step into the role. And I'm very excited for them and their journey. But I know they're going to do an incredible job. They're going to be very, very amazing. Sam, you have a hand for picking good people. Working at LaWayra.
The right people
you're
just
good at
come.
manifesting.
Yeah. In this line of work, like facilitation, right? It's really hard to care for others if you don't care for yourself. You know, what are your own routines, or how do you stay sane in this this mess?
Yeah, you need to have your practice. That's for sure. I do yoga and meditation every morning, and when I feel the need to do so, I've tried to start breathwork. I feel a lot of resistance, so that's exactly why I know I need to pursue that. Like I said, therapy has been very, very big for me. And yeah, that's also something that you need to learn, the balance of realizing when you need to spend time with yourself. So I've gotten a lot better at knowing when I just need to retreat and just sit with whatever is happening and arising. And especially going back after my last retreat and being stuck in this place of, just stuck, was a big challenge. But actually, I see it as a lesson that realizing sometimes you just need to be with what is, and you cannot do anything to speed up the process. It just needs to unfold in the way that it unfolds. And this is, I believe, a skill that can be obtained, but also needs to be nurtured and needs to be practiced a lot. There comes patience in place, of course. So, yeah, I journal a lot as well, but just being with yourself, just sitting and being still, I think that's one of the most challenging things to do, but this is a very important practice as well. Especially after an intense retreat where things may have come up that don't make sense just yet. Just being with not knowing what it means that's can be challenging to do so.
So speaking about taking breaks, every break you take and you travel somewhere, you like bring a person with you.
Yeah, I try.
You're a great salesperson as well.
Thanks.
What do you tell them? Like, what makes people just be like, yeah, I don't know you, but I like it and I'm coming.
Yeah, I don't advertise like in a direct way. I tell them, hey, come to LaWayra, but conversation just happened to be about ayahuasca, and I tell them what I do here, and people who are meant to come here, they feel it. They ask more questions, and I give them information, and I feel like that's very encouraging for people who've maybe heard about the medicine before, but they're afraid to be able to speak to somebody one-on-one and in person, realizing, oh, this medicine does help. And we always tell patients before they leave that the best way to help others in their healing journey is to lead by example. And this inspires people to be curious and be like, hey, what's happening? You seem so much lighter, you seem so much better. And I feel like the people, that are meant to hear it, it's just like planting seeds in their mind. So it's not directing them to like go to ayahuasca, but supporting them and finding that out by themselves. That this is the bit of information that they needed at this exact moment in time, and then they're like, okay, now I'm ready. So it's just I guess synchronicity. But just speaking openly about it to people who are genuinely interested, and they just know. And I mean, LaWayra is the best place. What can I say? For me, it was the most important to find a safe and secure place. I wasn't ready to go to the Amazon, and I feel like this is what a lot of people need to know, that this is a very, very safe space to go inwards. Like, external needs to be safe to go inwards, and LaWayra just provides that in the best way. So that's what convinces people. Yeah.
So you're going back to Germany now, so I'm expecting a wave of Germans flooding in. Everyone you touch or meet.
I'll try my best. I feel like it'll be challenging, but Germany definitely needs it.
Why does Germany specifically need ayahuasca so much?
I mean, there's a lot of national trauma, obviously, that has not been dealt with in a sufficient way. And people comparing how people, of course not everybody, but the general perception is people are more reserved. They're not as open, especially compared to Latin American countries and the mentality here. And I just feel like it would help them to open up and to heal their national trauma, to maybe even get to a point where they allow themselves to be proud of where they're from and what comes with being German. Not in a nationalist kind of way, but just being proud of your heritage, being proud of who you are. I think it has a lot to do with this identity aspect, just of being proud of your true self. I think that's a big one for Germans, identity. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say national trauma. I've never heard this phrase before. As people say like national treasure or national identity or national goals. But it's like, if like, they always view countries interacting as if it's like two people interacting. And there's also collective trauma. So it's how cool it would be if governments were like focusing on national trauma. It's like, okay, we have this national trauma, let's heal, let's make a plan on how we're going to heal.
Yeah.
millions of people.
And without getting too political, I mean, although we had the World Wars and the Holocaust, there's, you know, right-wing parties are rising, and it almost feels like it's going in a direction where we've been before. So even though we had that trauma and the whole nation is traumatized, apparently we haven't taken the lessons from it. To prevent also from repeating a cycle like this needs to be dealt with.
Third time's the charm, you know?
No, please no.
Yeah, I've seen someone on the news recently that Germany is planning to like put a lot of money in their military again. Yeah, let's hope. I mean, I come from the opposite side of that culture, obviously Eastern Europe, and Latvia was part of Soviet Union, so there was war. Like first, I remember my grandmother was teaching me. So my grandmother comes from south part of Russia, and like she, you know, Hand hoch was my first two German words that I learned. It's like because that taught them that it means hands up.
Okay.
Because they taught that to them when they're there,
my
so
God.
they don't get shot. I mean, there was like literally, the front line was passing right there. Like I'll be walking back from school, and after the rain has passed, I'll be finding like, you know, the lines of machine gun bullets.
Oh my God.
I would like open them up and burn the gunpowder, which was fun. Once I threw a bullet into a fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone
And it
just
shot.
exploded.
And then later on found it in a tree. So
Oh my
I got
God.
lucky. Another synchronicity there.
Yeah.
The God or universe kept me alive to be able to do this work. But nevertheless, I mean, like in a parallel universe right now, we could have been in different trenches on different sides of the war. I mean, you're a lady, but maybe you'd have been a medic, you know, whatever. So it's like crazy, right? Like, makes no sense. You know, like this famous thing where there was this war and then they stopped it just to play a game of football. It's so bizarre. Like, I think like ayahuasca specifically makes it just impossible to understand. Like, why would you kill another person? Because like you're basically like killing another person is like cutting your own finger.
Yeah.
It's like we're all connected. Yeah, I think it's one of the two things. It's either we give ayahuasca to everyone or other psychedelics, especially presidents, or we're just gonna kill ourselves somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it feels like. Either we facilitate that change, and psychedelics is a big part already, and hopefully it's going to be an even bigger part. Hopefully I can play my part in facilitating that progress, or not.
Yeah.
So let's do our best in helping bring the change forward.
Yeah, I'd like to remind that here at LaWayra we have a special promo for that any president can come and drink ayahuasca totally free of charge. Vladimir, if you're listening,
Nice.
come over. Let's purge some of that stuff out. Yeah, I mean, on that note, Clara, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for working here with us for 10 months. Your support has been invaluable. You helped me get lots of weight off my shoulders because, you know, it's a busy job. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, you're a brave woman, you know, confronting your own demons and then healing others all simultaneously is a pretty rough journey. And whatever it is you're going, I wish you best of luck, and I hope you come back one day.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this journey, and seeing what I was capable of when I didn't see it, and giving me this opportunity to step into whatever I'm stepping into. I'm eternally grateful for you, for your presence here, for what you've created together with your wife, and I feel very honored to also have been able to see the change from when I first came and how everything has made progress, and you guys are doing very, very important work, and I'm very, very grateful, very honored that I was able to be part of that. So thank you so much for for giving me this chance and for allowing me to call this my home. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara.
Thank you.
Das Wire will miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you as well. Thank you.
Guys, you've been listening to Das Ayahuasca podcast. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you like it, give us a like, subscribe. Nothing is medical advice. We're just a plant medicine retreat following a shamanic tradition, so we're not doctors. If you're having any health issues, go find a doctor. See you in the next one.